Hey everybody, how's it going? Back again. Here we go with Ethfinance Happy Hour number 8, the EVMavericks Daily Doots Weekly Roundup. My name is JT. I'm joined on a Zoom call here with our illustrious, everlasting man himself, Super Fizz. And I just want to go through the opener of this show, and then we'll get underway. I'm JT Nickel on Reddit, at ProDJKC on Twitter. On behalf of the Ethfinance community, we are excited for yet another round of the Daily Doots Happy Hour here on the EVMavericks Discord and our YouTube channel. Smash the like and be sure to hit the bell. Follow Ethfinance R on Twitter and EVMavericks on Twitter as well. These shows are now available on Spotify. Just search EVMavericks. This episode is number 8 for February 23rd, 2023. Join the stage if you want to chime in. We'd love to hear your voice. And it's all about Ethfinance and the best Doots of the week. The community on Reddit, Ethfinance. But you don't need the team bowling shirt to get in on the fun. Hop on the stage here in the Mavericks Discord anytime. dailydoots.com is where you want to go if you want to read along with us. And don't forget to grab today's POAP. This will be the last POAP for the entire month of February that will be eligible for a chance to win a Lattice 1 by Grid Plus and 2 packs of safecards. And we're going to ship it to you free. This is a value worth over $480. The POAP drawing for the winner takes place on March 3rd during the ETH Denver live stream. Giveaways by Grid Plus exclude mainland China, Russia, and Vietnam due to regulations. I should also mention that the live stream from Denver may be limited due to bandwidth, and so it may just take place exclusively on Discord. There may not be a YouTube element to it, although we will try to do a recording of that live stream and a screen capture of the POAP drawing for that Lattice 1 package. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to all hail the eternal crab. According to Mr. ETH and the Trinity, the price, according to Vinegar Strokes at midnight, was $1,645, and 696 reported in on a ratio of 0.068. And we should also add in Uses Bink video reporting that we now have 86,189 members of Ethfinance. So thank you so much. We're going to jump right into our first list of the Doots here. Let me change my screen, and there we go.
I have to
go
breathe.
Ahead.
I have never heard one person say so many words in such a brief period of time. Like, I'm still at the intro. How did you do that?
It's highly impressive.
Well,
I'm slightly overwhelmed, and I'm good at this.
Well,
He's a radio host.
You've heard of Chat GPT. That's how I live my life now, right? So I just figured
I'm obsessed with ChatGPT.
I think
It does make things easy.
It just makes things smooth and hopefully good for our listeners. So yeah, I just figured might as well write a little bit of a script here and keep things flowing. So very good. If you want to follow along at dailydoots.com, we're going to jump right into the JS Tiers haiku of the day. This was such a banger. JS Tiers, I don't know how you do it. What is Gary's mood? Bailing Sam out was rude. Do Kwon just got sued. Very good. That's funny. Gosh dang, how do you do it? That's amazing. We'll jump right into today in Ethereum. We're going to go all the way back. Zero Tricks reports back from 2017 that Ethereum's Ropsten testnet got spammed, and ETH acts like a stable coin at $13 or 0.01 on the ratio. Furthermore, in 2018, ETH becomes further less at $842 and 0.086 on the ratio. Boy, wouldn't we like to see those numbers again. In 2019, ETH Kletter stags from 159 to 136. And in 2020, Vitalik Buterin and Vlad Zamfir discussed chain governance in which the former criticizes the way ProgPow was ninja approved. Oh man, and the price action back then between 274 and 265 with a 0.027 on the ratio. In 2021, JP Morgan tests payments between satellites using Quorum. CoinShares launches a physically backed Ethereum ETP, and Trent Van Epps and Tim Biko, I'm going to screw that up. Superfizz, Bako or Biko?
Biko. Biko is what I do.
Trent Van Epps and Tim Biko catalog application sentiment on EIP 1559. Quote, almost every project and team supports this change. ETH offers between $1,577 and $1,622 on a 0.03 ratio. Finally, in 2022, a tier drops at 1 ETH for 2,598 or 0.067 on the ratio. And that wraps up your zero tricks on this day. I'm going to go right into...
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. Anybody want to chime in on any of that? That is a lot of news.
It's a lot of info.
It is. And then finally, we're going to jump right into our shit post of the week because we always like to save the best for first. Today, I actually asked Ethfinance, hey fam, we're looking for a nomination for shit post of the week to be included in today's live stream. And Yayo Pa replied with a link to my comment. So
this confused the hell out of me at first. This is such a great shit post. I was like, what's going on? Like, I had it copied into like a private window and like I'm trying different browsers. I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant. Oh, my bad. That's really brilliant.
It's very good. It was that feedback loop thing that it's kind of like it's almost like Never Gonna Give You Up, Rick Astley. You're kind of like, you're wondering, did I click on something wrong? What just happened? So anyway, that's our roundup for the opener of the show. I think we're ready to move down the list. Hashtag is going to be our honorary intro to these, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Yeah, so full disclosure, everybody, this is my first time. I got some big shoes to fill behind A-Word. He's super busy right now, but let's kick it off with Friday, February 17th. Superfizz has a disclosure to make, but is still putting values first.
I wanted to disclose that I've contracted with EY to offer community education regarding their Nightfall and Starlight products for a few months. This isn't a full-time job, just an agreement to spend more time learning about Nightfall and Starlight than sharing what I've learned. Let me give you some idea what this means. My credibility to the community is the most important thing I have in crypto, so I'll never do or say anything that would degrade that credibility. Many people who know and trust me hold that trust because I'm extremely selective about things I talk about. I focus on highly aligned projects that add value to the whole ecosystem and don't extract value for anyone. You might know that EY's privacy tools, led by Paul Brody's team, fill that niche for me, and I'm very confident about that fit after knowing Paul several years. My intention is to learn more and share more about Nightfall and Starlight and help them find the traction they deserve, and I hope you'll join me in this quest. If these tools succeed in a market, Ethereum will be the greatest beneficiary. I need you to know that I cannot be bought. I'm agreeing to this contract because it's good for the Web3 community, our community, Ethereum, and EY. I believe that any greater knowledge we develop about these products will benefit all parties in the long run. I will always continue to do my best to earn your trust as I find the best tools and opportunities to share with other ETH financiers, but I also need you to put your own judgment first. Ask yourself if I'm doing things that make sense for all of us, or if I've lost my way. Follow your own good judgment, not mine.
I'm sold. I'm going to vote for you, Fizz. I'm
that's
sold.
A bunch of crap. It's so long. Like I probably could have said that in like 4 words. But the thing here that's important to me, if EY is successful, value flows to Ethereum. That's really all I care about. I don't want to like hash through this crap again. It's good for everyone. It's good for Ethereum, and I'm proud of the opportunity.
I believe that 1,000 words is worth a picture, and if that's what you wrote, I think that it's such a good fit, and definitely your transparency. And I mean, anybody that's been around this space for as long as we have, we really are behind you. I am personally, because I know you're very in tune with what's best for Ethereum. Paul Brody and EY are in tune with the public mainnet. If we're going to have adoption, then damn it, we're going to have to make these bridges happen. And you're that bridge, and you're a big part of like why this is special.
At the same time, I really expect, I almost demand that people ask questions, because we need to know if our community is selling out to industry or if our community is sold out for Ether. Like, we're here for Ethereum. And so I'm very willing and happy to talk about it. As you know, there is a point where like I don't like to be badgered, but in terms of like being open and acknowledging it, yeah, I think it's great, because I sincerely believe that my actions are aligned with the development of Ethereum. So yeah.
And let's face it, you can't be all things to all people all the time, but man, you are all things to a lot of people most of the time. And you're making, it's an important connection to make. And so the social capital and a little paycheck for the work that you're going to be doing, because you're just able to communicate stuff to an organization as big as EY in ways that are also important to organizations that are decentralized. And that's a very interesting place to be. And I'm very, very happy for you.
Yeah, it's a good spot. I'm happy.
Does anybody else want to chime in on that before we move on?
I just wanted to say I'm proud of Fizz for disclosing it up front, being clear about it. You thought it was too long, but I think it was appropriate. I mean, you laid out everything. So, like you said, now we can watch your actions and say, hey, Fizz has been bought, or Fizz is just trying to teach us about something. So, kudos, man. I love that, Fizz. You're great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Do we got anyone in the audience that wants to speak up? Questions? 5, 4, 3. All right, moving on.
Yeah. I have one thing to comment on. Fizz, I don't know if you're aware that there's like a split coming up with EY. So there's like a SureCo and NewCo. So it'll be interesting to see where the blockchain group lands with that.
Whoa. I mean, that's your username, but I'm also saying, whoa. There's a split?
Yeah, so the accounting portion of the firm is splitting off, and the consulting and other portions of the firm are going to like a new company.
Can you?
I think the plans are towards like the end of this year. I think there's going to be a vote over the summer.
Can you speak about EY in very broad terms for people in the audience that may not understand who they are, who they serve, and absolutely how big they are, and for them to do a split, like in terms of like the history of the company? Is there a way you can sum that up?
I mean, they're part of a group of companies called the Big Four in the industry. They audit a lot of the Fortune 500 companies, the biggest companies in the world, and they perform a lot of consulting services around a lot of different business needs. So,
wow, okay, that's so they got their hands in quite a few different industries, serving a variety of different facilities. So that's pretty interesting. Somebody dropped a message in the chat, I believe, about a New York Times article discussing that. We'll probably park that for now, but that's something to keep an eye on. And Woe, thanks for sharing that information. We will certainly see where Paul Brody and the blockchain department lead from this split. So thank you. And go ahead.
There like a couple things I want to pop in really quick. Someone mentioned an NDA in the chat. I didn't sign an NDA with EY. I don't have any kind of like disclosure agreement at all. Paul literally was like on a call. We were talking. He's like, "Hey, can I slide some cheese your way and get you to look into these products because I know you talk about things you like. I said, sure. That is like, that's literally how this unfolded. And I don't want people to like have some like this like corporate idea of this. This is really just Paul seeing that I talk about things that I'm interested in and asking me to take time to look at it.
Whatever. I'll just add to that, personally, like Paul's been a big fan of Ethfinance. His organization, this is not a top-down thing. Like, I think what Paul needs is kind of a conduit into the world that we're in. We need to understand that Ethfinance, although we are measurably small on Reddit, when it comes to what's going on in Ethereum, we're very much tip of the spear, and the people that are contributors within Ethfinance, it's being read, and there's things that I know that have been said on Ethfinance that have kind of instructed Paul's mental capacity to take it back to what he's doing at EY, because they have to know what the school of fish are doing before they can kind of figure out a way to man a boat, I guess is the thing. Because what he's doing, maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but what they are doing is they are bringing enterprise to public mainnet, because there's people also that are on public mainnet. It's kind of like how EY probably once upon a time when the internet was created had to figure out what are the services in a new Web 2 world back at the dawn of the internet that they could provide to their customers during that time, because clearly Yellow Pages was on its way out. Does that make sense? So I think in a Web3 world, the companies they're going to serve, they want to provide the tools to them to help meet the needs of their clients and customers. So this is a really cool bridge, and I guess we'll let that rest. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment back on that. Appreciate it.
I think we ought to get going. We've been here.
Let's move on.
A long time.
Good.
Real quick, Fizz. Like, when do you think the first post about this is going to be out from you?
I'm not. My agreement with him is to look at it and have fun, and I'm not under any agreement to post or write specific things.
No. I just mean when should we expect something from you? Because I'm pretty excited to learn about this from you. Because I read about it, obviously, but I mean it's complex, and so maybe you can explain it to me in a way that I better understand it. So I guess I'm just excited to hear about it from you. So I'm curious when you're gonna
let me tell you what my interpretation is that I am raising awareness, and I am at this moment raising awareness, even if it is laterally. So I would not. At this point, I wouldn't expect me to write some thesis. If I get there and I'm like, oh, wow, this is something I want to talk about, that's going to happen. But awareness is the thing that I'm bringing, and that awareness is coming. It's already here. I'm not pushing myself to do something that is I'm not creating a deadline and saying I have to write newsletters or some trash. Whatever happens, happens.
Right on. All right. I appreciate it.
Very
all
good.
Right.
Go ahead.
Moving forward, on Saturday, February 18th, Six Soldiers covers the Rocket Pool Coinbase Ventures partnership.
All right. So we're excited to announce that Coinbase Ventures is deepening its partnership with Rocket Pool via a direct investment into Rocket Pool, or RPL, in addition to its proposed entry into the ODAO. Coinbase Ventures also plans to use their RPL and ETH to spin up their own Rocket Pool mini pools, and that is signed off by Coinbase Ventures. This came from the Rocket Pool Discord, and they comment a pretty impressive evolution of the CB Ventures and Rocket Pool relationship. This is news, right? It's pretty that's pretty cool. Anybody want to chime in on that? I'm sure there's some of you that know more about this.
I want to do a quick identification. Seek Soldiers is Jasper the Friendly Ghost.
Okay.
If you don't know or follow Jasper on Twitter or wherever, he is wow, he is wicked smart. He puts a lot of dots together on a level that I can't always follow. So I just want to make sure that people know who that guy is.
Good call.
Yeah, I have him tagged on Reddit as such. I forgot about that. Yeah, Jasper the Friendly Ghost. Been around for a minute. Very cool. Anybody else want to chime in on this? I'm all for, I mean, you got the Coinbase deal spinning up the Optimism base. You've got Coinbase Ventures going into Rocket Pool. I think, and this is just me, but I think this is Brian Armstrong kind of pushing and feeling those boundaries out when it in terms of regulation, just how they gotta, I think they're kind of forcing the hand of regulators to rethink what they're doing, because those two things in particular, in my limited view, are showing why it's going to be important for decentralized entities, at least in the United States, to continue to flourish and grow, because there's this magic thing called jobs and taxes that can come from this, and capital building and all these types of things that can be done in a decentralized way. So hats off to Coinbase Ventures for sticking their necks out there. I'm assuming their lawyers had to take a good long look at all this, and they decided it's worth the fight.
Yeah, I want to say I do believe. So you guys know I'm ate up with Rocket Pool, but Ethereum is my priority, and I do think this is definitely good for Rocket Pool. I'm not yet convinced that it's good for Ethereum, and that's an important disambiguation, because it does bring more attention to Rocket Pool. But the reason I'm obsessed with Rocket Pool is because of the decentralization that it brings to the network. If we are onboarding a centralizing entity and a centralizing exchange, we have to ask ourselves, what's the trade-off there? Are they bringing greater decentralization to the network, or are they bringing their centralization tendencies to what we're doing? And I don't know the answer to that. I do know that I'm a fan of Brian. At the same time, I'm not a fan of centralized exchange staking. So yeah, definitely good for Rocket Pool. I'm not sure yet if it's good for Ethereum, but I hope that it is.
All right, hashtag, that kind of leads us into the next one, I believe.
Yes, so on Saturday, February 18th, username 15K is FUD starts a great discussion on whether Coinbase spinning up Rocket Pool nodes is a good, bad, or neutral for decentralization. Canezilla has an absolute banger of an answer.
Yeah, and I'm not going to read all of this, but it's this is a thread that you should be opening up on your own and checking out post-mortem. 15K is FUD writes, I'm in a discussion with a community member that I respect very much, and yet, strangely, we do not seem to agree on something. Question for the fam. If Coinbase would start spinning up Rocket Pool mini pools instead of regular validators from today on, would this be good, bad, or neutral for decentralization? Please limit the discussion to this question about decentralization only. I don't want it to be a value judgment on Rocket Pool. Of course, any actor can use it as permissionless. This is not a fault of the protocol. Also, please don't discuss how unlikely or likely it is that Coinbase would do this. It might be very unlikely with all the risks, such as Rocket Pool exposure, regulatory, and others. I just want to know if you think my hypothetical question would be good or bad for decentralization. And Canezilla writes, you asked me to post my comment in reply to this thread, but I think it might be worth rewriting it, excuse me, for writing it suited for some of the answers I see here. And then there's several questions. Is it good, bad, or neutral? Does Rocket Pool, what does Rocket Pool do to help decentralize the network? There's fallacies listed here, and it is a extremely long post, and people should dive into this and pull it apart. We could probably make this a top level comment or a discussion item for after the show as well. On that point, by the way, just a reminder, the Daily Doots POAP is live to be claimed at dailydoots.com, and stick around after the show on the Discord stage. This might be a good little piece for us to read through together. Does anybody have any comments on this particular item? Did you go through it? What are your thoughts?
I missed this one, but holy crap, this is Painzilla. Like, jeez, amazing, man. I love the formatting too. It's easy to read. This is amazing. Thank you. I'm gonna spend the time to read through this one. Fizz, this might help you with your conundrum of whether it helps Ethereum or the other way. So
it really makes me think. Are you? I hope everyone is aware of Danny Ryan's tweet from yesterday. He tweeted his thoughts on 2023, and I really want everyone to read that. But it highlights the alignment that Danny and I share, which is the need for Ethereum to resist capture. And there are so many potential capture vectors. We're looking at Rocket Pool as a potential capture vector, as Coinbase as a potential capture vector. And I do sincerely believe that both of these are positive operators. But to be honest, even a positive operator can capture the network. And so we have to sort of be very careful as we're engaging with these different providers, whoever they may be. There's one provider who runs 30% of validators. Like, that is a capture risk. And those are things that we need to ask ourselves about everyone, without saying, are they good guys or bad guys? Simply, do they have the capacity to capture the network?
Well said. Yeah, it boils down to those basic things.
All right, moving forward.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
All right. All right, moving forward. First, anybody in the audience, we want you guys to contribute. If you have any questions, do not be shy. Moving forward, on Sunday, February 19th, eDrews99 reminds us that exchanges will not call you if they detect something suspicious. They are scammers.
Heads up. I received an unsolicited call this morning, allegedly coming from Coinbase support, indicating that my account had been logged into from another country and that they were placing a hold on my account. While on the phone, they sent me an email confirming this and a text message with a link to, here it comes, issue-coinbase.com. They then gave me an 8-digit password over the phone with which to log in. I pretty much knew from the start that this was bullshit, but the issue-coinbase.com domain really sealed it. If you get any unsolicited calls from any exchange, please ignore it and maybe report it here for educational purposes. Stay safe out there. Yeah, you got to be careful. Get a big old... Yeah, you get those text messages, those phone calls, immediately those flags need to go up. I'm kind of done clicking on anything in emails, even from trusted sources. If there's a URL that I know is correct and true, I'll just go to it myself. And then, it's just, these scammers are never ending. I swear to God, in the last 2 weeks, I have had tons of text messages that are just all of these types of scams. And, they're brutal. They got call centers now. They got click farms. They got text messaging, SMS bots. They're coming after you. You have the most fungible asset that's ever been created in human history, and they want it because they know they can flip it. And that's the end of that as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't feel like that's going to get any better anytime soon.
No. Wait till...
Most of that stuff is Russian. Like the due to the war, with Ukraine, they stepped up their cyber warfare offensive big time. Really.
Do you wonder if the Russians are like, hey man, watch out for those scam calls? Most of those are from America.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you can pin it on any individual country because every major country in the world is doing the same thing. So
Sure. It's just gotten more, everywhere in your face all the time because of the sanctions and everything else. So they're trying to extract money everywhere they can. And Russia has really good cyber offensive capability. I mean, they're really good at it. It makes sense. It's probably hugely profitable for them.
Yeah, and don't forget
the Russian troll farms.
Don't forget North Korea and those assholes in Omaha, Nebraska. They'll get you, man. You got to watch out.
All right, fellas. Does anybody have any questions? Input? Nope. Okay, moving forward on February 19th, user Dometheus demolishes the deflationary FUD on Buttcoin.
If you're not following
on our Buttcoin,
if you're not following Dometheus on Ethfinance, absolutely, they've been a long time member and contributor. So anyone with an ounce of understanding about economies knows why a deflationary currency could never work as the standard. That's what was presented on our Buttcoin. Dometheus, as the standard for what? Buying eggs and bread, paying people salaries, investing in stuff? Sure. In that case, a deflationary value appreciating currency is bad. Thankfully, that's not what Ether is. Somebody else on our Buttcoin. We need money to lose value over time to de-incentivize people sitting on savings. Dometheus replies, the first and foremost job of Ether as an asset is to provide economic security to Ethereum. Anyone with an ounce of understanding about that realizes it'd be dumb to devalue this asset on purpose. Ether is collateral money, not debt money. Having the value of your collateral goes up gives you more bandwidth to participate in the economy by doing more stuff you otherwise couldn't. Also from our Buttcoin, only when money is used does it lube up the economy by providing cash flow for industry. Dometheus says, again, that's not really Ether's job to do that. But even then, it still does it well inside the Ethereum economy. It's deflationary because it's being used. Anyone with an ounce of understanding quickly realizes this cause and effect relationship and doesn't invert it by claiming being deflationary causes people not to use it. I'm going to go down to this paragraph here. I'm tired of these takes that miss out on all the nuance. Quote, ETH deflation bad because deflation encourages hoarding, end quote, is one of them. And yes, quote, ETH deflation good because supply goes down equals line go up, unquote, is another one. It's a cringe meme responding to Bitcoin's equally cringe, quote, cap supply equals sound money meme. The truth is fundamentally, whether the supply goes up or down doesn't affect the velocity of ETH. Whether supply goes up or down, it's all just an accounting trick. That doesn't change the fact that value ultimately flows from users paying for block space into the pockets of holders who are likely to be staking, directly or indirectly. You're not magically going to turn a hoarder into a user if you increase issuance because that hoarder is already staking anyway. Excellent.
Prometheus. Oh, that's so great. I love the second paragraph, man. That it's just like flips your understanding of economics in like 4 lines. That is great.
And back to like these disambiguations, Dometheus is also Domathy or Dom. He is a prolific contributor across many platforms. So if you're looking for super valuable thinking, he's a great follow, or they are a great follow.
And
I'm a big fan. I love everything they post. It's always so good.
We also forget about divisibility, right? Like ETH is not a dollar bill with a finite supply. It's like even the pennies within ETH are divisible by 10 or 100, so it's anyway. We can go on and on about that. I think this is such a good level-headed reply. And I didn't look on Reddit to see how it fared on Buttcoin, but I can imagine. I mean,
I wonder.
Go ahead.
I often wonder who the real Buttcoiners are. I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I used to. I had, maybe a season where I was just into Buttcoin for the fun of it, and like at some point, it makes you wonder, like, who has the time to hate on cryptocurrency and not participate? Like, leave or don't leave, but why just complain? I don't know.
We're Gary's kids, 10 million weak and dying.
So, serious question: is there an actual butt coin, ERC20?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Probably.
Probably.
There's probably Buttcoin Gold, Buttcoin Black.
You know the rule: if it can exist, it will. So.
I would expect that to exist. All right. So, anybody in the audience have any questions? I don't see any hands, so I'm moving on. On Monday, February 20th, Buster Rules minted 69 AI-generated variants of VI Pandas, and EVMavericks dropped to random holders. So
Buster
I apologize.
Rules.
Okay, I got it.
No, that's fine. Buster
Rules. This is the first time, bro. I'm working with it.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Good news. I finally completed my quest of remixing 69 EVMavericks.
How dare you?
And EIP Pandas with Midjourney. They have all been minted on Polygon and sent to their respective owners. To see the results, there is an OpenSea collection in the link. I want to thank everybody that participated in my little project. Your amazing reactions to my artworks mean the world to me. If you had a request and didn't receive it, feel free to DM me. I might have missed some messages. I will mint one last epic remix and put it up at auction in the next few days, and then I will get to work on my sequel to Worthless JPEGs, my satirical collection. Thanks again, everyone. And I don't know if anybody else besides me got theirs, but I tipped him, and I have a remixed EIP Panda and a Maverick. I may actually have two, but I sent that Buster Rules a tip, and hats off to you, and thank you so much. I really enjoy your AI generated variants.
Yeah, he's been making some dope shit.
It is.
I don't know any of these, but I'm loving just looking at them, and that's my son asked me today. He was like, if you sell an NFT, do you still get to look at it? And I was like, yeah, anybody can look at it. He's like, oh, good.
This one word trick, right? Right click.
These are so fun to look at.
They are neat. All right.
I think 337 is my favorite, but yeah, I'll hush now.
Oh, you're good. Anybody? No questions? All right, no hands. All right, so moving forward, Tuesday, February 21st, OK Dragonfruit 1929 explains the mechanics behind why ETH has been deflationary.
It's quite a brilliant feature of EIP 1559. If demand for block space falls below a certain threshold, ETH issuance goes up while gas prices go down. This has the effect of making it more likely for more people to use ETH, bringing us back to more demand for block space. If demand for block space is above a certain threshold, ETH issuance goes ultrasound. More ETH fees are burned instead of given to validators. If staking becomes extremely desirable and more people stake, staking rewards annual percentage yield falls, and the threshold of block space demand required for fee burns increases. If staking becomes less desirable and more people unstake, staking APY increases and the threshold for fee burning falls. It's a completely automated, decentralized monetary policy which favors equilibrium. Nothing else on earth like it. Ethereum EIP 1559 increases incentive to secure the network in a way that avoids inflating the supply without being 100% reliant on market forces, such as gas fees. unlike Bitcoin security, which will eventually become completely enslaved to the wills and fluctuations of the market and without sufficient fees, read block space demand, will become more and more centralized and less secure. Fantastic.
Questions?
Yeah, if anybody's got anything, I feel like this is just a nice synopsis as a reminder to everybody what the power of 1559.
Can I tell you, before 1559 hit, a lot of you know Buddha, who is a really good friend of mine. And Buddha was like very opposed to 1559, and I will rub it in his face forever. But like, I was balancing like, is this really good? Like, it's hard. It was hard at the time to really imagine how it would unfold, but it has just been an incredible, I don't know, issuance mechanism for ETH that is all win. It's, I don't know. I'm very impressed with it.
Biz, do you think that contributes to the reason why we've had such crabbing going on in this bear?
You know, I'm not a market analyst. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to answer that.
Okay, fair enough. If there's anybody else with any questions, speak up. Otherwise, we're going to move forward to Wednesday, February 22nd. Hawaii Facts has a HolderCon 2024 update. Beach bum holders vote on your favorite locations. I want to see some hands raised in the audience because this is important.
I need to log in and vote. I saw JT's backyard barbecue. If the price tanks,
some really cool locations on that list too. It's kind of funny because I got my fingers crossed for like the most affordable trip, which does not bode well for like the price of ETH at that time. Like if the price of ETH is really high, I guess maybe I won't mind if it's, I don't know, like Fiji.
So,
but yeah, the tiers is an interesting way that you guys are deciding on where we're going to go for HolderCon 2024.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mechanic that we put together. I'm going to read just a little bit of this. HodlerCon 2024 update. Beach bum NFT holders can now vote for destinations at hodlercon.com. Tickets to HodlerCon 2022 included a beach bum. If you attended and haven't minted yours, DM me. Others can mint them at hodlercon.com/beach bums. They did a Twitter Spaces launch on Sunday. It's recorded if you want to listen to it. The highest vote getter as of March 17th in each 3 cohorts will be thrown in the will of the ETH price gods, whichever price band we're in on June 15th. There's your calendar date, folks. Mark your calendar. Whatever the price is, June 15th, 2023 will determine the location of 2024. If it's between $0 and $1,400, we're going to go camping in my backyard around Kansas City. And I'll probably be doing some barbecue. Goblin Town Creek, Virginia. That actually looks like a fun place. Orlando, Florida. Smoky Mountain, Tennessee. Los Cabos, Mexico. If the price between $1,400 and $4,800, the selections include Puerto Rico, Bermuda, Iceland, Thailand, and Portugal. And if somehow the Ethereum gods by June of this year hit 4,801 to 31,000, we're going to Greece, Hoi An, Vietnam, Fiji, New Zealand, and Ireland. And mahalo for voting. You can purchase beach bums if you want. I think they're 0.1 ETH, and that gives you a vote in the DAO. Just to give people a little bit of background on HodlerCon, it is actually a DAO that is formed as an LLC out of Wyoming as a events coordination company. So basically money comes in and we send it right back out to like being able to go to these different places, whichever one we choose, and do group purchasing for group activities, which benefits the people who are going by getting cheaper ticket prices. Additionally, we are doing everything we can to respect everyone's anonymity. And for instance, when we went to Hawaii, there's a lot of people there that simply went as their usernames, and they interfaced with the different agencies like the hotel and the tour guide companies individually. We don't want your information, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So HodlerCon, the DAO, does not want your information. We simply make it available for you guys to enjoy a vacation with you and your family if you want to go and enjoy a little bit cheaper prices and maintain anonymity. So it's kind of neat.
I think
we'll see you soon.
The price is we should camp in JT's backyard. Set up like a little homeless style camping village, like 20 tents, right? And like a big fire in the middle. It would be awesome. Your wife would hate it. It would be awesome.
I'm more excited about seeing that one what do you call it? The traffic light, your one traffic light in your town.
Oh, that's from my hometown where I grew up. Literally had one. They had a blinking red light. They had stop signs, then they got a blinking red light, and then they had to purchase a full color front page photo to accommodate for yellow and green. When they finally got a real stoplight installed, guess what? City Commission is getting rid of it because it's slowing down traffic too much. So they're going back to stop signs.
Full color, man.
Yeah.
Marketing budget there, huh?
Man, at least they're not doing roundabouts.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what to do down there with a roundabout. They'd still drive over it with their 4x4s.
Carmel, Indiana has got the worst. Everywhere there's a fucking roundabout. It's insane.
That's how they get you.
All right. So here's the last one, guys. This one should be pretty spicy. Thursday, February 23rd. Holy flatulence.
We got to get on to the dude. We can't just laugh at the username. Holy flatulence.
We seriously have to figure out how to get some of these posts in major news places.
I know, man.
That was a good one, too.
Holy flatulence, a rooftop porta potty. Now those are
how's
on my
the rooftop porta potty incentive going? I want to see that.
We got to get him
All
going.
right, so
I've actually seen a rooftop porta potty. No, I'm being completely serious.
I believe you.
used to do tile in high rises, and they started putting porta potties on wheels and like elevatoring them up to whatever floor is being worked on.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
They didn't want the employees dumping down the garbage chute on the side of the building, right?
all right, so holy flatulence shares an excerpt from The Incumbents, which see the power and the composability of crypto, but don't want to keep its decentralization.
I can't even read this with a serious face now. Very interesting speech just given by Augustin Carstens, the general manager for BIS. Pay attention to the last paragraph in bolded text. They totally understand the power of shared ledgers, open source composable. They just want to centralize it and own it. A unified ledger is a digital infrastructure with the potential to combine the monetary system with other registries of real and financial claims. It would need to be a public-private partnership with a clear division of roles, and where the central bank is tasked with underpinning the trust in money. Like smartphone platforms, a unified ledger allows various components to work seamlessly together, but unlike them, it is enabled by open architecture that promotes financial inclusion and greater competition. Such a ledger allows for the use of smart contracts and composability. A smart contract is a computer program that executes conditional if, then, and while commands. Composability means that many smart contracts covering multiple transactions and situations can be bundled together like, quote, money Legos, end quote. With these new functionalities, any sequence of transactions and programmable money can be automated and seamlessly integrated. This reduces the need for manual interventions that delay transactions and reduces dependency on intermediaries, and also allows for simultaneous and near instant payments and settlement. I'm going to go to the last paragraph. Importantly, programmability and composability do not require decentralized or permissionless platforms. Okay. All the potential benefits I just outlined can be achieved in permission platforms with various degrees of centralization. What really brings the benefits of these projects together is the use of money as a means of payment and settlement. As the provider of the ultimate settlement asset in the company, the central bank therefore has an important role to play in the governance of a unified ledger, but it would do so in partnership with other public agencies as well with the private sector participants. Man, little dog whistle code speak there for, yeah, we'll let you have your permissionless stuff as long as we make the permissions for it.
Yeah, they're swing and a miss there. I mean, they totally don't get the point. I thought they were getting it until the end, and then I was like, oh, yeah, never mind.
Well,
Yeah. Go back to the drawing board, guys. It has to be decentralized and permissionless, or it's just a database. Just use a database. It does the same thing if you want centralization.
Does anybody else have anything to add to that? I see Connor Jason .eth on stage. How are you doing? Edarev. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Hey, all.
Hey.
I mentioned that Outstars is going to be talking on HodlerCon at East Denver in about 2 hours.
Oh, good. Okay. That's right. They're already there.
Is she going to live stream that?
I don't see it.
ETH Denver has a Twitch live stream. I can send the link in the chat for that.
Fantastic.
That'd be great. Thank you. Whoa.
Yeah, fantastic. Go ahead.
On that last dude, we have a fantastic response. Shout out to Papazio. Have you ever boosted a Maker Vault at 4,500?
Yes. I actually I handpicked this one because sometimes the art of the dude is in the replies to top level comments. I think sometimes it's really hard to. It's from the perspective of having cured the dudes before Tricky Troll took over. Hats off to Tricky Troll, by the way. Part of the struggle of getting the right dude, it's easy to sort everything by top or best and just pick top level stuff. Sometimes it is really hard to find the good reply. So I personally handpicked this one. This was Papazio was the person who responded, but Say No to Mids said, I think FOMO is more stressful than losing money. And Papazio replied, have you ever boosted a Maker Vault at $4,500 ETH? You get to experience both in very short order and learn that the latter is much, much worse. I mean, that is it in a nutshell. And that just kind of brought back a lot of memories of, opening up CDPs, and then you had the cascading liquidations that took place. What was it? 18, 19, whenever people were getting 2020 when you had, you're right. Bottom of 2020 was just these cascading liquidations. But Papazio was pointing out, boosting a vault at 4,500 ETH, and they don't go on to say what eventually happened with them, but I think the lesson is learned in the response on that dude. So Papazio, that was a banger. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts or reflections on that idea of buying high and getting liquidated in a CDP or anything like that.
I think if you're like an old timer, you can relate to this. It wasn't 4,500, but it might have been like 1,000 or something, and so totally relatable. Yeah, just getting liquidated at the top is terrible.
And this portion of the live stream is brought to you by DeFi Saver. Thanks, Nicola, and all of your team members, Nicola, because there's 5 of them that work for Nicola. So.
That was a godsend when it came out.
Oh man!
All right, fellas,
we got it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
Are we going into Are we stopping the recording here?
Yeah, here in a second. I'm just going to just do an outro here and remind everybody to, join Ethfinance. If you're catching this on YouTube, join the EVMavericks Discord. This is hosted by the EVMavericks. This was our 8th session of the Daily Doots Weekly, showcasing the best from the Ethfinance community on Reddit. You don't need a Team Bowling shirt to get in on the fun. Hop on stage next week during the ETH Denver live stream when we are going to be drawing POAPs from this month's live stream POAPs. Don't forget to grab your POAP at dailydoots.com. All of the POAPs gathered for the Fridays in February are going to be used for a POAP drawing taking place March 3rd during the ETH Denver live stream for a chance to win a Lattice 1 and 2 packs of safe cards worth $480. Giveaways by Grid Plus exclude mainland China, Russia, and Vietnam due to regulations. On behalf of the EVMavericks DAO and Ethfinance, my name is JT. Cheers and big hugs from Kansas City.